The Niners were glad to have Christian McCaffrey back in Week 10, and they're looking forward to using him again against their division rival, the Seattle Seahawks. My name's Tyler here with my brother Ryan, and we're going to break down this Week 11 matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and San Francisco 49ers. But before we get into that, we do have a goal of getting to 100 new subscribers for these Week 11 videos we have going out. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like and a comment. Let us know who you think will win this game and why. But Ryan, Niners squeaked out a victory against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 23-20 in Week 10. The Seahawks are going to be well rested coming into this rematch from their Week 6 loss to the San Francisco 49ers. And especially, too, honestly, then just the Seahawks team just in general that has been banged up as well. DK Metcalf has missed the past couple of weeks, so I have to monitor his status, make sure he's good to go. Plus, a lot of other guys on the defensive side of the ball and on the offensive line as well. Because last time we saw the Seahawks team, they lost in overtime to the Los Angeles Rams as well after they had lots of opportunities in the red zone to pull away with a victory, a much-needed victory, but unfortunately fell just short. So, Ryan, I want to throw it over to you here with the Niners getting CMC back here as well. What does Seattle have to do to come out victorious this time compared to what happened about a month ago when they played?
Yeah, I mean, last time they played, there was just a lot of big plays. They kind of just got dominated on the line of scrimmage. Also, they didn't really get a lot of pressure on Brock Purdy. So I think, to me, starts with you got to find a way to be more competitive on the line of scrimmage, whether that's sending blitz packages and being more aggressive to get after Brock Purdy to force turnovers. Brandon Ayuk will also not be in this matchup as he has torn his ACL since then. So that is one less weapon that they have to worry about. But with the return of Christian McCaffrey, I do feel like this is going to be a pretty big coming out game for him. So I think for me, you got to be really aggressive up front, pick your matchups on the outside and just kind of go with it. And if you get burned, you get burned. But like you have to try to create something on the defensive side of the ball. Because last time you played back and you kind of let them come to you, and they still picked you apart. So that for me on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, I think they had a couple early turnovers in that game. I could be wrong. Even if they didn't do a whole lot in the beginning of that game offensively, and they just got in a deficit. So if San Francisco comes out and they get out quickly, I think they need to just start fast on offense. And I know that's kind of stupid to say, but like you need to be putting up points early in this game, whether it's via trick plays or pushing the ball so like down the field, or even if you have a 14 play like 75-yard drive, whatever. You just got to find a way to score early in this game to not let yourself get behind early.
Well, and that's where the 49ers have been able to win games and be one of the better teams in the NFC the past couple of years. Has they've done well enough or have done really well in the trenches. Well enough, I mean, because offensive line, I think the 49ers offensive line is okay. They have probably the best left tackle in the league in Trent Williams, but in some other areas like they could improve on, absolutely. The defensive line, though, I feel like they've always just had one of the better defensive lines, especially too. You have Nick Bosa leading the way, and then you have Fred Warner. I know he's a linebacker, but still just helps out just the entire front seven. Just those two guys as well, with a bunch of other good players as well. And I think an area where the Seahawks really struggle in, like they're the exact opposite. They've been battling a lot of offensive line injuries as well, and just in general, their offensive line hasn't been particularly great over the past couple of years. Defensive line wise, something that they've been trying to work on and keep on improving. So when you come into this matchup, just already Seahawks, I feel, are at a deficit. Then on top of that, too, you have some great skill position players on the Niners side. You have good skill position players on the Seahawks side as well when healthy. I mean, Kenneth Walker is one of the more underrated running backs in the league. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith-Njigba is a receiver trio that I would put up against a lot of other receiving trios in the league. Then you got Reek Woolen, who I know he's been banged up. Have to monitor his status, make sure he's coming back into play. I'm pretty sure he played. I don't know if he played against Seattle, against Los Angeles. He never played against Seattle. Let me double check here to make sure.
Who's it?
Tyreek Woolen. He did play against Los Angeles, so he was able to play against them as well. So he'll be back. Much needed as well. They got good secondary. They've always had a pretty solid secondary, but they just have always lost in the trenches, which is what really hurts them as well. Geno Smith is going to have to play like I think as close to a perfect game as possible. Seems like whenever they go up against San Francisco, a part of it I think is just he's just not like he's a good quarterback in the NFL. He's just not the guy. But he doesn't get much help, I will say, from his offensive line. For being completely honest, and so I think it's just going to need to be a perfect game from Seattle, and they haven't beat San Francisco in a couple of years now. And now with CMC coming back, I think it's going to be a really exciting time for this 49ers team coming into this game here. Like, hey, we got Chris McCaffrey back. Yes, we lost Ayuk, but I think what CMC brings to the table is going to be a lot more red zone efficiency just with his ability to catch ball out of the backfield, how dynamic he is overall. Like, it's funny, they were saying he was going to be on a kind of a pinch count today, even though I did say he was going to get he was going to get 20 touches. But so he had 13 for 39 rushing yards, and then 6 for 68 when it came into the receiving yards. With the he had a 30-yard burst on a receiving catch today. So and I think it's only going to keep on improving from there. And so Seattle, just how are they going to win in the trenches? To your point, how are you going to get Brock Purdy off of his rhythm at all? You're not going to have Ayuk, but Juwan Jennings stepped up big. He had 7 catches for 93 yards today against the Buccaneers. So is he like you lost Ayuk, but is Juwan Jennings going to take those numbers back? You still got Deebo Samuel. George Kittle's played well. Also, Ricky Pearsall has also played well. I think he got his first touchdown back today. I'd have to go back. I know he scored the touchdown, but I can't remember if it was his first touchdown in the NFL, which was great to see. So I think in San Francisco, it's whatever game plan you've been doing against Seattle these past couple of years, just keep doing it. And then Seattle, whatever game plan you've done in the past, pitch it and try and start new. But I know it's very simple to say, but you got to win in the trenches. I don't know how you figure it out, but you got to win in the trenches.
That's my thing too. And it's I feel like that first matchup, it started out relatively close, and then just as they continued losing the trenches, it just got more and more out of hand. And so
yeah. They got, so it was 23-3 after the Niners first drive. It started third quarter, and then Seahawks kick return for a touchdown, and then they got another touchdown, get 23-17. But then it just wasn't. They just weren't able to get over the hump. Like they had really just that 10 minutes in that third quarter, which they made it really close. But other than that, the Niners still kind of just dominated that game. Now it was Thursday night football, which is unique just because of how it's a short week and everything. The Seahawks are going to have 2 weeks to prepare for this game as well, while the Niners are coming off a very tough victory in Tampa Bay. So we'll have to wait and see. All that being said, though, based off history, I got to go with the Niners here, even at home as well. I also think too maybe some of the momentum. I think they're grinding out victories, but they're able to still pull out those victories. And really, their record should be a lot better than what it is right now. They're currently, I believe, tied with the Cardinals, or they one game back.
The Cardinals are 6-4. They haven't been on a bye yet.
So then the Niners are 5-4. So they're essentially tied with the Cardinals here, and the Niners have had several losses from.
I'm also taking San Francisco. Just so we can continue back in this conversation. But to me, San Francisco, they had the game against the Cardinals that I think they should have won, the game against the Rams that they should have won, that they let them back. I think they let them both back into it late in the fourth quarter. And so that for me, this is still a really good Niners team. They're just they weren't healthy. They were making kind of some stupid mistakes. So I do feel like this is going to be the start of their winning streak that pushes them into the playoffs. So all in all, I think this is going to be a good game. I expect this to be a better game than the first one, but I still think San Francisco is going to come out ahead. Let's go ahead and wrap this one up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. It is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, go ahead and leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead. Will it be the Seattle Seahawks? Will it be the San Francisco 49ers? And on that, we'll see you guys next time.